Hi, Crystal Conclave. This is NESHY Beast, my friend who just went X1 in a 7-round regional. Here's his deck profile.
Yeah, so I would like to do the deck profile, and we made top 8. I don't know how far I made. I think it's top 4, and we play Crystal Beast, of course, Conclave Control.
Of course.
But the boys are hungry. We've been here all day. Let's go ahead and take this to Red Lobster.
Alright guys, now we're back here with Red Lobster. I got my clam chowder.
He's got his
Here's
clam chowder.
NESHY Beast with the deck profile.
NESHY Beast. Now you can see it on my shirt. NESHY Beast. We ended up coming in 3rd, which is amazing. We ended up getting this cool play mat. The Ninjas. Darkwing Blast. But we got to do the profile on the NESHY mat. You know we have to. We also got this beautiful deck box. Crazy. But yeah, this deck is crazy. I'm going to go a little bit in depth with this. First of all, shout outs to Jesse Anderson, Clay Adams. Love to see it. He carried me to victory. But let's start into this. So this Crystal Beast deck list, this isn't your average ordinary Crystal Beast deck. See, Crystal Beast decks, yeah, they like to summon Rainbow Dragon, and we do play the Rainbow Dragon, but this is it. These are the only Crystal Beasts we play. 2 Zenith, 3 Pegasus, 1 Ruby, 1 Eagle, and the 1 Rainbow Dragon Ghost Rare, gifted to me, thank you for that. And that's all because this is all you need. You know, you want to brick on the bricky beasts, right? I am the Crystal Beast, you know, I know how it goes. Pegasus, 1 card rank 4. Make Dweller, make Baguska, whatever you want to see under the sun, because Zenith goes ahead and adds that Rainbow Dragon in your hand. This is a hard Garnet. I saw this like 3 times today, but that sucked. And we also play the Cobalt Eagle because this is your extra normal summon. So instead of playing like the 3rd Zenith, there's a lot of theory that went into this, where you need the 3 Zenith to push for damage, right, to go for game OTK. But the thing is, you have this as another normal summon, and like you can play around, there can be only 1, sure, that's kind of cute, but this bricks in your hand more often than not. I had normal summoned this like twice today with Bridge of the Heart in hand, and this was my only Crystal Beast. So normal summon, pop it with Bridge of the Heart after you know, and then you bounce a card search. So that's a lot better value than just popping this one in hand. So, and just 1 is all you need too, because you banish this one, so you're basically playing with 1 the whole game. And that's cool because then it's like your boss monster, right? Like it's just 1. So that's kind of cool to think about. And then Ruby just push for damage. Awakening for game, OTK so many times today. I can't believe that we did this. Every time they read Ruby's effect and Awakening in I would always Awakening in battle phase, play around Valor. My round 6, he Prosperity added Valor, and so I had to battle phase activate Awakening to summon Ruby and then go for game. And he's like, wow, you played around Valor very well. I'm like, yeah, that's how we do it here in the Conclave. Yeah, it's just amazing. Here's some other monster cards. All right, check it out. So these guys never came up today. I might as well never played them. They did actually help me against my Rika matchup round 5. Is like banished a card, but it's like these guys are whatever. You can play without them. These guys were pretty good. Like I banished 1 tier card round 2, and that like made them end on 1 less disruption. But it's like these guys, I never really saw them or played them. I had Necro Valley up most of the time. This thing was clutch. Every single game too against tier, after I won the first game, you keep these in going second, and you just shifter them. You know, normal summon Rhino Heart, okay, change shifter. Yeah, it's such a breath of fresh air whenever I just open shifter against any of the tiers. But this guy's amazing. You side him out when you're going first because he conflicts with Conclave, actually. You want to be able to Conclave, send it to graveyard in order to get your bounces. But yeah, you can play without these Fenrirs. You know, you don't need these Bestials. You know, it is what it is. As long as you just play your Broken Floodgates to win the game as a rogue deck, that's kind of what you need, especially with the Ishizu stuff coming out. We need these Floodgates to win as a rogue deck. But on to the best part about the deck, the spells. This deck loves seeing green. I love playing a lot of green in this deck. You know, what's pretty cool is, you know, Awakening for game. That's amazing. Awakening is the most versatile card in the game. Search is the best card in your deck. Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. Bounce back any fusion monster or XCs, like literally any extra deck monster. You can bounce back row to go for game the next turn. That's what I did with Conclave a lot too. But Yeah, this is like the ratio. You want to play 3 of these, definitely, because in the grind game, Awakening is just too amazing. You know, you gotta play 3 of it. But what if you open it and you don't have a way to access Rainbow Dragon? So what? You're gonna sit on this until you do have a way to access Rainbow Dragon. Dang on it, we play a ton of Floodgates so we can stay in the game and then go ahead and see that Rainbow Dragon. You know, you want to play. This card is like the best card in your deck. This card is also the best card in your deck. This card searches both of them, so by default, this is the best card in the deck. This gets you to Pegasus, which is the best card in the deck. All of these are just the greatest thing in the world. And we're gonna go even further beyond. And I'm gonna show you another effect that this card has. This card can dump a bridge card. So can this. We're dumping Bridge of Salvation, baby. I drew this like a couple times, but it was fine. This engine is just the greatest in the world. So 2 goods, it does conflict with Shifter. So Bridge of Salvation, banish it, search for Necro Valley or Mystic Mine. Alright, we'll talk about Shifter later. I want to get to that. But this was the MVP today. Honestly, I was just carried by Necro Valley today. Mine came up a couple times today. Around 6 against Fluanderee's Mystic Mine, I needed it to stun, and I just sat on it until I drew Feather Duster, pretty much. And then I set down a Miracle, waited to draw that Duster, so that if he did have a Judgment or anything to stop that Duster, you know, it was protected by the Miracle. It is an amazing stun card, but it really helps me against strong boards, right? My round 6, that was the hardest match of the day, is against Sprite, against Jorge. He won an ARG. He's an amazing player. I drew a Shifter into his full Sprite board, and so that's fine. Like, I Shifter, that baited the Toad. That was in standby phase, main phase, first action, Necro Valley. No, Mystic Mine. And now, if he can chain Elf to that, bring back the Toad, but what's that going to do? Give him 3 monsters on the field? Well, I have mine, and then I also have combo in hand, so mine just gives you a good enough stun to wait out the game to where you could be in a good position to OTK, just win from there. Mine is an amazing card for that. We never deck people out. We're never like that. We're just doing it until we can stun OTK the following turn. Necro Valley, we do win with this. We do just OTK with Necro Valley on the field, and that's just how we do. We activate it, and then Tears just look at it and just say, oh, what do I do now? But real quick, I want to talk about Foolish Goods. So we play basically 5 cards we don't want to see with each other. You know, if I see this going first, you know, I'll Shifter, and then I could Foolish Goods the next turn, whatever. Because, I mean, I'll need to search Necro Valley if they're under Shifter, right? But 5 is like the maximum amount you can play without wanting to draw multiples, right? You want to see this as much as possible, but you also don't want to draw multiples. You don't want to draw these 2 together. You don't want to draw these 2 together even, or these 2. You know, so 5 is just the greatest number for that. I didn't brick on Shifter or Foolish Goods at all today. They were great. I mean, drawing Shifter mid-game kind of sucks, and that's annoying, but the risk is worth it. Or no, the payoff is worth the risk. That's what it is. Prosperity is an amazing card in this deck. Banish 6 every time because I only used 2 cards in my extra deck today total. But this lets you search for the piece that you don't have. If you have enough crystal cards, you can search for an interruption like a Bestial or Fenrir. If you already have stuff like that and you need your crystal cards, well, this goes ahead and lets you do that. I was mostly just adding crystal cards all day. Like, I had a handful of like Bridges, Awakening, that kind of thing. I just grab another one, grab a Pegasus or something like that, grab the Foolish Goods. The crystal cards were the best part of the deck today, and Necro Valley, but the crystal cards get me to Necro Valley. Now, if you want to talk about the MVPs, this is right here. The Conclaves were amazing all day. People were reading both of these cards. Just being able to Pegasus shuffle all the time. So like, you just Pegasus and place another one, set Conclave, and you just bounce every turns, like poke with a Pegasus. If you don't have OTK, like say they banished a Ruby, that happened once today, you could just like poke with Pegasus and then do the Conclave shuffle. You know, it doesn't shuffle, but you know, you just bounce your Pegasus back and then go for the next turn. This card is so good in a simplified game state. And Miracle, oh boy, just it being a counter trap spell speed 3, it makes it one of the best cards in the deck to just dodge any kind of board breaking cards. You know, games 2 and 3 sided, if I'm going first, I'm always wanting to search out that at least one miracle. 2 would be ideal, because they want it evenly. Lightning Storm, Feather Duster, Miracle's the way to go. I love that we have a searchable Solemn Judgment. And I use the Banish effect sometimes too today. Alright, we're going to go in the extra deck real quick. Now we have 2 Super Poly targets, a bunch of rank 4s like it's half format, and then 3 links, and we have Jesse. Guess how many cards I made today? Out of all of these really good XEs and link cards, even Super Poly, the only things I made today: Lightning Chidori and Abyss Dweller. And they only came up once. This deck does not use its extra deck at all. But I could explain some of these really quick. These are the only things I used today at all, though. But I explain kind of why I play what I play. These 2 are your floodgates of choice depending on what you play against. This is your Salvation out. If you draw Salvation, you can use Dugara's draw 2, then pitch the Salvation from hand. If you're under Prosperity, though, you can use Tornado Dragon, set the Salvation, pop it with Tornado Dragon, then you still have this value for next turn. This is your payoff with Abyss Seals. DD Crow, he never came up. Chidori is amazing, especially against Barrier Statue, against Fluandereeze. Put that set card to the bottom of the deck. You could just put like Barrier Statue to the top of the deck. Cowboy for Time never came up. All of my games went quick today. My round 7 against Tier was a 15-minute last round. These come up when you're playing against stuff that can't be targeted, like Avermax. So just Chakanine, Borbo, and the Zeus. That's pretty awesome. Zeus is great out to a lot of things, but so is Underworld Goddess. Playing against the Adagnister or the Final Sigma. Win is for Secret Village. You put them under Secret Village, summon Win, and that's pretty awesome. Nightmare Phoenix was my Ibly out. I was scared of getting Iblied today by Sprite, and so you just normal summon a Pegasus, link Ibly away with the Phoenix, and then you can get more value by pitching a card, popping something. If you draw the Salvation, this is another Salvation out. Though I like playing cards that out my own Salvation if I draw it in my hand. What else am I going to play in this extra deck? Yeah, I'll talk about the side deck. This was the biggest brain side I've ever done. This was the weirdest side I've ever done in my life, but all of the side choices just make sense. My siding list was really extensive, but we're playing 1 Fenrir, 1 Foolish Goods, 1 Secret Village. So whenever I go first, I side out the shifters. Whenever I'm siding out the shifters, I side this in for one of the crystal bonds. You only need 1 crystal bond. It's searchable, but this is basically acts as another crystal bond. Whenever you're siding out the shifters, you side in the 3rd goods, and then this is for Runic Sprite and Fluandereeze whenever you're going first. Fluandereeze doesn't care about Necro Valley, you play this, that's fine. Secret Village, I never Secret Villaged anyone today, but theoretically it's insane. And it does come up actually at locals. This never happened today. This happened once, and I just used it to out my own mind. Like, whatever. This was incredible today. But the real MVP, evenly matched. Evenly matched is way too good against Sprite, way too good against Rika. It was just one of the craziest cards of the day.
Card is unfair, 100%.
I saw you played against Labyrinth and just evenly matched the guy for his whole life savings, and then you said Cosmic on the last one. How'd that feel?
It felt pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. So evenly is, yeah, it's still an unfair card.
Yeah. No, it's crazy because none of the boards these days end on negates. But the last 2 cards that I side in for going first, I side in the 3rd Miracle for going first, because I just explained how crazy Miracle is going first. You need to get out the side deck cards, right? And a pointer does the same thing. You're always having Rainbow Dragon in your hand, so you can always make a pointer live. So that takes out an evenly match. If they have multiple board breakers and you don't have enough miracles, then you can go ahead and get the best card out of your opponent's hand. They just have the 1 Rabina, just take it out. But in terms of the only side cards that I saw today, just these, maybe Fenrir, I think.
I mean, because you're already maining 2 of it, so.
Yeah, I think this might have come up. But yeah, this was, I didn't see a pointer at all today. These were the only cards that came up today in my side. So literally the whole day, it was just crystal cards all day. And that's what made me win. Crystal Beasts are just that insane. But I could talk about my matchups real quick. Round 1, I lost the first round of the day. You hate to see it. It was against Despia. So I won round 1 pretty convincingly with Necro Valley. And then game 2, I got my Necro Valley destroyed by the Chimera. Chimera is the hardest thing against this deck because it outs the Necro Valley. I got drolled, and then Lightning Storm for my life savings. Game 3, I got drolled. Then he Tax Dragon to me in time. Masquerade, Tax Dragon. So that kind of sucked, losing in time to Masquerade. So yeah, I said, you know what? What if I just play faster today? So I played fast, and I ended up winning the rest of the day. Round 2, Tier Limits, 2-0, win. Easy, Necro Valley, Conclave, Awakening, OTK, Game 1. Game 2, Shifter, Conclave, Awakening. There we go. That's the match. Round 3, Tier again. Same thing. Just whatever happened round 2, that's what happened in round 3. Round 4 was Full Wanderees. That one was an actual war of attrition, and that one sucked. But then I had a mine. Then I talked about this. I mined until I drew that Feather Duster, had the Miracle active for when I Feather Duster protected it, right? Next round, Rika. That one was weird. I never played against Rika. Our engine was just stronger. And then game 2, I double evenly him and then had full
I was sitting next to you when you were playing the Rika Flare, and I was laughing because, dude, you went evenly and he kept summon limit, and then you were like, Conclave, put it back.
Yeah, Bridge of the Heart, put it back.
Or Bridge of the Heart.
Bridge of the Heart getting free bounces on my turn is just like one of the
You literally said
in the world.
evenly, and then said to the last card they had, put it back.
Don't even dare with that one. Put it back in your hand. And round 6, the second to last round, that was my hardest one against Jorge, the amazing player. I really had to think about that one, but game 1, I bricked against full combo. Game 2, I had Necro Valley, Conclave, Double Miracle, all of that backed up by Double Miracle, and that was it. It was crazy. Game 3, that was the best game of the whole day, honestly. Top deck Shifter for turn, I kind of talked about this, and then that baited the Toad, first action mine, and then we just kind of played a dance, played really smart around my mind, making sure I had like a monster up, but then whenever he had 2 up, made sure that whenever he went to 1, just kind of bounce it, we can keep the mine up, keep it going. But then he ended up smashing the mine, using Sprite Smashers on the mine, and then that opened me up, honestly, for Heart OTK. So the card I top decked after that was like it was like a Rainbow Bridge. He used his last interruption on that, and then Heart, Pop, Search, Awakening, Battle Phase, Awakening, Ruby. That Valor's dead in his hand, can't use it, but that was the game, and that was the graduation match. And round 7, my nerves were running. I'm like, I could really do this, and the nerves were really getting to me, honestly. But then once I saw my opponent go Normal Summon Rhino Heart, I knew it was all going to be okay. It was just a sigh of relief. It was great to see that Tier Limit was my last matchup of the day, because this deck eats Tier Limit for breakfast, baby, all day. Kind of like how you ate that clam chowder. That's how I ate the Tier Limit matchup. It was a 15-minute round. He scooped both games. Like game 1, when he saw the writing on the wall with the Necro Valley, he scooped. Game 2, I shifted and then set up Necro Valley. Game 2, I shifted and then set up Dweller, and then he just scooped from there. And that's how Crystal Beast do it, baby. I don't know why people play Hexa Sister when you just play Crystal Beast. We have Necro Valley, Shifter, 1-card Dweller. Sounds pretty good to me, but that's my regional experience. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed this kind of in-depth talk about Conclave Control. Moving forward, I think Conclave Control is still a good option, even with the Ishizu stuff that tiers are getting, because we just floodgate them out of the game. That's fine. That's it, though. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. But before I go, I want to touch a little more on moving forward post Magnificent Mavens and the future of Conclave Control. Our deck's game plan is still the same, and the build may not change at all. We absolutely keep main decking Dimensional Shifter, but now we might side in Psyframe Gamma going second if they Herald the Orange Light our Shifter. Necro Valley and mine are still all-stars, but Zombie World might be worth looking into. Kashtira Fenrir might cut depending on how prevalent also the Earth Charmer becomes. Overall, our tier limit matchup might not be as free as it was before, but it can certainly still be favored in our advantage. We'll just have to see when the chips fall. Shout out to Tobias. He and I have been cooking this deck together with the perfect side and tech choices, and honestly, I wouldn't have been able to do this without the help of a brother from the Conclave. Me and the boys had such a great time road tripping for this regional, and we got to meet some incredible people. I got recognized a few times and even got to sign this beautiful man's salvation. This was just an awesome moment. You know, a few years ago, I wrote down a goal. Top 8 a regional with Crystal Beast. And now, it's happened. It's kind of surreal, and I don't know what else to think other than thank you. Thank you for supporting me, because you guys gave me an outlet to talk, teach, and grow a community. And now, we're reaching heights we never thought were possible. I had a massive desire in my heart. I went after it for years, and now, here we are. Thank you guys so much for coming alongside my journey, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.